What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm recapping Only Murders in the Building Season 5, Episode 6. So what had happened was, by the way, this has audio description on Hulu, but what had happened was, on Only Murders in the Building, the last episode, they threw Lester the robot off the roof, so we thought we were adding another murder. Although Lester appears again in this, and Howard is still oddly attached to Lester. And thought that was interesting, but I feel like there has to be a reason this robot is around for some reason. And I have some theories about that, which is why I mentioned it up at the top, because the main plot here is that our gang is still trying to go through and figure out what Taya Leone and Diane Wiest are up to, the widows behind the two characters that were murdered. They think that maybe it was them. I whatever. So, and also Meryl Streep is back, but her place burned down, and she's missing a lot of her like stuff. So which feels like so totally random, by the way. And she's with Oliver and thinking about, that she's so happy to have him, and she kind of helps a little bit with the podcast and with the investigation, which was kind of cute. I mean, she's been around for a couple seasons now, so she might as well. And so her and Oliver go off to try to investigate a little bit more on Lester's wife, Diane Wiest, who's having to sell her house because she doesn't have the money. And meanwhile, it gives Oliver a chance to show his new bride, where he grew up. But Streep does this funny thing with her voice where she has this like southern lass who has like a backstory that she pretends she gets it all like method, which is when they're talking to Wiest. And like you can tell Diane Wiest didn't kill anybody. Like that's like she's literally broke and trying to sell things and get rid of property. And Tia Leone, not Tia Tia Leone. It ends up that they are just friends, and she's helping her with this like production of Newsies that they're doing at this theater that Martin Short just walked into, by the way. Like, I love this show, but every once in a while I was just like, so this theater's just open, just unlocked. He just walked in. I mean, it made sense later on because like for rehearsal you would unlock the door and the kids would come in later on. But like at the beginning, it's just so weird because Martin Short and Meryl Streep just like walk into this theater, and like Oliver's like, "Oh, this is where my love of theater. I was a little boy, because he grew up in that area, and this was his first like stage." So Oliver Putnam. So there's this like flashback sequence, and he's talking about his love of theater, and eventually he gets up on stage and performs with like this younger version of himself. So it was a cute moment. Then we see the widows come up and they explain, they're like, no, we didn't do that. And yes, there was some money, but she was just paying what she owed Lester to the wife. So, but it's not like a ton of money. And, or at least that's the claim. And so we also have, so that was basically their story, Oliver and yeah, so that's wrapped up. Charles is being catfished, uh, rather hilariously by somebody who just keeps sending like random but non-face pics of like body parts. And then Charles once again is divulging way too much information, which is the same thing he did with Taya Leone. He's like the villain of the season because he keeps giving things away. So like he told Taya Leone's character at their quote unquote date way too much that he shouldn't have. And now he's telling some random person on a dating app all this stuff about the murder. And so Divine Joy Randolph, her cop character, is back here. and she figures out he's being catfished, and there's this, she runs like a search, and there's like a little icon thing, and they start noticing because they had asked Lester the robot for this footage, but there's a glitch. There's a thing where the footage cuts, and Fee was saying that, Fee remembered because they came through and they were going through with like Seth Rogen back to their penthouse, but that part was cut out, so it wasn't in the footage. So, and then there was another part of the footage that was cut out because uh, this is a weird recap. Divine Joy Randolph was there to pick up the finger finally, which had been in the freezer, but it's missing. So they're like, where did the finger go? Who took the finger? Who even knew the finger was there? Well, now we know the answer because Charles just keeps talking to everybody. So probably whoever that is, whoever's catfishing, came and got the finger. So that's the query. And then they figure out that the person doing the catfishing is Sebastian. There's also a nice moment between Mabel and Fee, where because she yelled at Fee about stuff, she has to go reconcile with her because it turns out that the video was edited and Fee really was there, and it just got cut out of the thing. So they apologize and they reconcile and they're friends again. So that should be interesting moving forward. So I think the Sebastian angle of it is interesting. But what we're noticing is that they're using a lot of technology. So you have somebody who's using the dating app for Charles to try to track things that can hack in and delete videos. But we've also got this robot running around, right? So like Lester's out of the question, so they all have this robot. I think the robot's going to end up having something to do with it. I don't think the robot killed anybody, but somebody is operating that robot, and I think that's what they're going to have to. Howard is way too close to the wrong thing, and this robot that retains so much knowledge, this is going to end up being one of those like referendum on AI type of things that we are loving to do. Everything is a referendum on AI now. Check out Tron Ares opening this weekend. Uh, so, yes, I think that's where we're headed. Is Sebastian the final? I don't know. But look for the nerdiest person you can find. And now I'm starting to wonder about Keegan-Michael Key because he keeps popping up and he also has an assistant. And I'm wondering how they're connected and if there isn't something in that that they're able to. So it's going to be revealed somebody is uniquely skilled at computers, and it won't just be Sebastian because we still have like 4 episodes left. So yeah, that's my thought. Anyway, I like the episode. We're still somewhere between like an 8 and 8.5 for the season. So anyway, I'll be back with another recap. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.